Welcome to my channel. And today we're back again with more scary stories from Reddit. So grab your popcorn and turn off the lights because things are about to get spooky. In the comments down below, if you could let me know what paranormal activity you've experienced or maybe something you've witnessed, I would love to hear all about it. Or even if you have a friend who has experienced something, share their story too. I can read some of them on the show. Who knows, you might just see your story over here. And if you like this type of content, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an upload. Also, if you aren't already, please consider following me on social media where I post updates, random paranormal things, and even interact with you guys. Sometimes I also share early access to my podcast and even behind-the-scenes videos. But for now, let's get into these scary stories from Reddit. My cross necklace. I have a cross necklace that I like to wear. I was wearing it one day when my daughter was about 5. She was playing in the living room while I was folding laundry nearby. Out of nowhere, she started yelling, "Take it off, Mommy, take it off." I asked her why, and she said, "The lady in the corner really doesn't like it." I laughed it off and told her there was no lady in the corner. She continued to insist that there was, and to prove it, she went over and turned the corner so I could see. There was nothing but the bookshelf. Still thinking it was funny, I told her again there was no lady and that I wasn't going to take off my necklace because of a made-up imaginary friend. But she insisted I look again. As I walked toward her, she ran away and hid behind the bookshelf. I called her name and told her I wasn't going to keep playing this game. She stayed silent. At that point, I thought I was winning. So I put the necklace back on and went back to my laundry. A moment passed and then I heard a loud thump from behind the bookshelf. My daughter and I froze. I took it off immediately and put it in the drawer. She came out from behind the bookshelf and asked if I had taken it off. I nodded. She smiled and said, "Good. That was 8 years ago. I'm still scared to wear the necklace in that room to this day. Maybe it was the clink of the necklace that made the noise." Sure, yeah, that makes total sense. Well, maybe it was. But I think you should wear it again. For science, the scratch. I was an emergency medical technician for a private ambulance company in a medium-sized city. I worked part-time while going to college. One night around 3 a.m., we got dispatched to a local hospital for a 29-year-old female complaining of chest pains. We jump in the truck and go to the hospital, which is about a 15-minute drive away. Our patient lived in the opposite direction. She was sitting in the front seat and I was in the back with her on a stretcher. It was just me and her for most of the ride to her house. We get to her house and as I walk up to the door with the patient, I see a man standing there. He asks me if I'm the EMT and I say yes. He thanks me for coming and tells me to go inside. I follow him into a small dark bedroom with only a bedside lamp on. The man sits at the foot of the bed while I do my assessment. Nothing really comes of it. Her vitals are fine, but she says she feels unwell. So I give her some oxygen and load her back into the ambulance. On the way back to the hospital, I can't help but notice the scratches all over her chest. It looks like someone had long fingernails and dug them into her skin pretty hard. She has no idea how they got there. I figured maybe she was doing community service somewhere and got hurt. I told my partner about it after dropping her off at the hospital. He thought it was weird, and so did I. Later that week, I was working a 911 call in a neighborhood that was close to where I dropped the girl off. As I was walking up to the house, I noticed it was the same address. I freaked out and told my partner to call dispatch to make sure it was a different call than mine. I don't remember what the call was, but the house looked familiar. I told my partner to park the truck around the corner and sneak up to the house with me. I didn't want anyone else knowing we were there. We walk up to the house and my partner rings the doorbell. No one answers. As we're walking back to the truck, I see a little girl standing at the window. She was staring at us and smiling. We got in the truck and left. That was 8 years ago, and I still get shivers thinking about it. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there, but that little girl freaking saw right through your disguise. I hope that wherever she is, she's doing well and she found a new friend to play with. The author, this happened when I was a child, about 6 or 7 years old. I remember staying up late, watching TV with my dad. My mom was in the kitchen making food. We weren't eating dinner together, but she was making a bunch anyway. I guess I was hungry. Anyway, she called us to come eat, but my dad said he wanted to finish his show and I wanted to watch it with him. My mom sat down at the table, but after a few minutes, she stood up, turned off the TV, and said, "No, we're gonna watch it together." I tried to protest, but she picked me up and sat me at the table next to her. Then she got up to grab some food and put it on my plate. As she walked away, I tried to get out of my chair, but she stopped me and said, "No, you'll eat this food." She sat down again and stared at me while I ate. Then she asked me questions about my day, and I answered her best. Eventually, I finished eating and I wanted to go back to the living room to watch TV, but she said, "No, you're gonna sit here until the dishes are clean." I remember sitting there for a very long time. I kept looking around the room, but every time I looked at the floor, it looked clean. but every time I looked up, my mom was staring at me. Finally, I said, "Mom, I finished. You haven't cleaned the plates." She said. I got up and dumped my plates on the table and ran to the living room. I remember watching TV with my dad and being scared to go back to the kitchen. I didn't want my mom to force me to eat anymore. This happened several times. If I didn't eat everything my mom cooked, she forced me to eat it later. I grew up with this trauma and now I waste tons of food. I wish I could tell my mom how much this hurt me. She always acted like this, but I never told anyone, not even my therapist. This happened 16 years ago and I'm still traumatized by it. I'm sorry that happened to you, Op. I'm glad that you're getting help now. It sounds like your mom is a narcissist, and I hope you find a way to forgive her someday. Well, there you have it. 3 scary stories from Reddit. Which one was your favorite? Let me know in the comments down below. I personally liked the last one. It's really sad that OP has to live with this trauma, but I am glad he has his father and hopefully he can get past this trauma and have a happy life. If you haven't already, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with a friend. And once again, make sure to follow me on social media. I'm posting horror shorts every day in October, so make sure to check those out. Thanks for watching, have a good one, and remember, don't click this link if you don't want to join the Illuminati.